you're really after consciousness. And when you practice that and you practice techniques that make you conscious, over time, there's going to be a really, really big difference in you and in every area of your life. In this video, I'm going to tell you guys how to make any law of attraction technique work faster for you. This is something that everybody really needs to know if you want to make manifesting work for you at all. And I think that most people don't actually know this. Any technique can work for you. It doesn't really matter what technique that you use. But I'll tell you what does matter. What matters is the way that the technique makes you feel, or if the technique is actually working for you. And what I see with a lot of people is that they idolize a technique because someone told them about it, or it worked for somebody else, or their favorite teacher is teaching this particular technique, and then they try to bang it into place and they try to use it and they try to make it work for them, but they're not making the shift and the results are really sketchy, and then they think it's something that they're doing wrong. It's not anything that you're doing wrong. The point of a technique is to make you conscious, and you're going to feel that shift in yourself when a technique is working for you. Now, sometimes you're just not in the mood, but the idea with techniques is to find the technique that gets you in the mood and that kind of does it for you. So that's the most important thing when you're implementing any law of attraction technique, because if you're trying to apply a technique and it's not resonating with you and it feels like you're just going through the motions and nothing's really happening within you when you're doing this technique, it's not going to work for you and it's going to be very slow. So if you want to speed it up, make sure that you're, first of all, knowing what you're after. There is no technique in particular that is the thing that makes it happen. What makes it happen is the consciousness that you gain inside the technique. Or another way of saying it is that a technique inspires you into being conscious or feeling conscious. And this is a big difference. So like when you're applying a technique and you feel like you're in the zone, you're really enjoying it, you're really there, you just know that this is working, or you don't care if it's working, you just feel really happy when you're doing it and you're actually really into it and you're actually genuinely involved in this technique, you're enjoying it, that's when you're conscious. So that's going to speed up your manifesting a lot, because you can do a technique, and if you're actually doing it from that point of consciousness, that's when it just happens that moment or 5 minutes later or the next day. And that's why you see variable results with people, is because of the level of consciousness that they're actually achieving during the use of their techniques. So don't feel bad if a technique doesn't work for you, or if it doesn't snap you into consciousness or conscious awareness. If a technique does not work for you, stop doing it, stop trying, and just focus on a technique that does work for you. That's very important. All that matters is that you're choosing something and going with something that really does it for you. And that doesn't even have to be a technique at all. If I was to find something like cooking, for example, that helps me manifest, the reason is because of the way that I'm engaging with cooking. It's a very creative endeavor for me, and it makes me very aware and conscious, and I'm not thinking about anything else. My mind is very clear, and I'm just focusing happily on what I'm doing. And then from that conscious state, you can project whatever ideas and thoughts and realities that you want, because you're in the zone. So that's the way that you can make any law of attraction technique work faster for you, is just making sure that it's a technique that's making you conscious. And you know, if you're conscious because you know how you feel, right? So how you feel dictates if you're conscious or not. That's one good way to tell. So make sure that you're picking techniques that really actually do it for you. The two techniques that I've been harping on are Answer Mode and God State, and they really, really do it for me. And there's a lot more that I like as well, like tapping into a glimpse of reality that you've had, for instance, or following your joy. You're really after consciousness. And when you practice that and you practice techniques that make you conscious, over time, there's going to be a really, really big difference in you and in every area of your life. So that's what makes techniques work faster for you. If you like the video, then like it. If you want to subscribe, subscribe. And if you want unlisted videos, make sure that you press the bell button when you subscribe and hit all. That way you will get notified when I update in my community on YouTube, and that's where I put the unlisted videos. Also, if you would like emails, you can sign up for that below. I have coaching available. We're going to Cancun next month, and it's going to be really awesome. If you want to know about that, comment or email me or message me on Facebook, whatever. I'll tell you all about what you need to know. I have all the links below. Thank you so much for supporting me. I'm happy to be here. Here's a playlist. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
That was easy.